Hello everyone, it's Omae and welcome back to the brand new video. Today we're going to go into co-op duels and try to do some rookie crushing with the maxed out Blackbeard Pirates team. There's one unit we're missing, Burgess and Shiryu, but it is what it is. We do have Kuza in there as a somewhat of a replacement, so we still get an attack boost. We do have a lot of strength characters in the current duels meta, so the fact that this team is going to have a lot of type advantage is of course amazing. One very big issue with not having Burgess and Shiryu is that we won't get access to this 8x color affinity because Burgess Shiryu provides the quick territory, and then the new Sun One Wolf Pizarro and Vasco Shot gives a free spirit territory, which gives us access to this massive color affinity, which we won't have unfortunately, but I've tested this out. It's still extremely impressive. And of course, we do have a lot of super tandem boost here, damage limit break, and then the Sanon Wolf Pizarro and Vasco Shot is our super tandem unit. This character is quite interesting. With having him and the new Blackbeard, we can get both an ally damage reduction based attack boost as well as an enemy damage reduction based attack boost, which is of course amazing. And Blackbeard is reaching ridiculous multipliers as a captain. When you are running Doc Q, you really want to put an int character as a support, and we will be experimenting with two different types of co-op captains in the video. Lilith, I think, is the most stable option if you actually want to win in co-op duels, because she does extend all of your buffs by a turn, which is quite important for this team because we don't have a lot of damage over multiple stages. It's more like a one turn burst, so Lilith allows us to get multiple turns of damage. But if you are going for a more damage focused composition, then the new recruit Burgess is pretty good for that. He is giving us an extra 135% damage on a specific turn. And of course, if you did have the Blackbeard ship from doing part 1 multis on the 12th ANNI Sugo, it would be better to use it here instead of the Sunny ship. Any ship that has a special that gives you more damage is the best to use in co-op duels. So enough yapping, we're only 3 stars, rookie 1, so let's see who we can go up against. We'll first start off with Burgess and see what we can do on the damage side of things. Now, yeah, we are losing a lot of damage by not having Burgess Shiryu. The main things we lose are the advantageous class effect buff. As I said, the color affinity from Blackbeard's lesser, and of course we don't have a quick territory. Oh wait, no, Blackbeard will apply a quick territory, so that's not a problem. It's just the color affinity will be a bit weaker. Luckily, we do have Blackbeard special to get around the enemy's damage reduction, which we will apply on the enemy with Doc Q, so that we can get the maximum potential from the damage reduction based attack boost, right? So we're going up against someone with, I think, the 4 Emperors. No, it's a completely different team, but it's still quite formidable. I'm interested to see what happens here. They do have Saturn there instead of who don't they have? Are they seriously running Emu as a co-op captain? That's the weirdest decision I've ever seen, but okay. You know what, I'm just gonna go all in. We have 3 strength enemies here, so the type advantage is through the roof. I actually need to make a separate video on this, but if you play your cards right with the Kuma, Nika, Bonnie, Atlas, and Strength Vegapunk team, you can activate your co-op captain twice in the duel on stage 1 and then again on stage 3, which is quite interesting. I can't wait to show you guys that before co-op duels leave, but I digress. Let's try and see the correct activation to use our specials in here. This is also just a great opportunity for you guys who are newer players to see how I would think, what's my thought process behind activating the units in a specific order. So the most important thing here is for the Divine and Van Ogre, you need to use their swap before the special, because they do provide a buff to all boost used after the swap effect, right? Very important. Now, the weirdest part is going to be trying to get the right set of orbs, because the Blackbeard gives super type quick orbs, which are definitely best for our damage, but we need some form of tandem orb to get the super tandem to activate. And I think overall the super tandem is going to give us more damage. And I'm actually going to run out of time here, damn it, man. I should have thought about the time limit. Let me just quit this duel and then go back in. Maybe not so good at rookie crushing, right? And you know what, let me just explain the action plan before we go in. So I did add a few new supports because a lot of these characters do work with specific types as their support characters. So we already have a free spirit territory from the Avalo, Pizarro, Vasco Shot, and Sanon Wolf. So we're going to use the int or dex support on Kuzan for a driven territory, which will stack with that. Of course, we don't have everyone here as driven units, but it still is going to be a pretty nice damage amp. And then of course the attack boost from Kuzan. If you already have an attack boost, Kuzan activates an orb boost. Since we want him to give the attack boost, it really doesn't matter when we activate his special. All we need to do is use Blackbeard's EX super last, because he is going to provide the super quick orbs and then allows you to perform super tandem with those orbs. It's very important detail, because there are other characters here that also will benefit from that super tandem with special slots, that being this character here. If you have a super tandem with certain slots buff with 3 turns or more, then we'll reduce it by 2 turns and then allow you to stack conditional boosts. This character gives you a defense down conditional, which is procced by Blackbeard. And then the Avala Pizarro, Sanron Wolf, Van Ogre and Devon. This unit provides a second conditional boost. They also provide weaken status. Unfortunately, there's a bit of clash here between Doc Q and them. They both give weaken status, and the team doesn't even give increased damage taken, which is a bit odd. But we will be using Doc Q's one first because it is a bit stronger. It is 1.5x. Devon and Ogres is only 1.3x, right? We do need a int support on this Doc Q unit to apply damage reductions to the enemy. Because we will be getting a damage reduction based on the enemy's attack boost from this Blackbeard here, and then also a damage reduction based on allies, or an attack boost based on allies damage reduction from this unit right here. So very good damage in that sense. And we have a lot of orb manipulation. Doc Q is changing to bomb orbs. We have the super quick orbs from Blackbeard. All we need to do is make sure that Blackbeard goes last, because we want those super type quick orbs. Because remember, those super type quick orbs are super powerful when we have 6 super type characters here. Because remember, those orbs become stronger based on how many characters match the super type that the slot is associated with. So quick super type, we have 6 quick super types, so we'll get the maximum multiplier from those orbs. And then we also have the in support on Devon and Ogre. That does give the weaken status, so it really doesn't matter what support you put on them. If anything, I'll actually take that away since it's better to use Doc Q's one. And then I think as far as that goes, that's about it. We get the attack boost from Kuzan, the orb boost from Devon and Ogre, which we use after these swaps, so it has a higher multiplier, a color affinity from Blackbeard, a chain additive buff from Doc Q. We would have gotten a chain multiplicative buff from this legend here, but we have instead a quick support on them because we need that delay to proc the Devon and Ogre conditional boost. So unfortunately, we won't get that chain multiplicative buff, but it is what it is. And then of course the super class, super tandem and damage limit break type, which is great since everyone here is quick. And then of course Burgess with that 135% extra damage, and he also has this very helpful co-op action for 30% extra damage for all of our units. Very powerful. Okay, let the rookie crushing commence. Let's see my opponent. So he's using quick Kuzan 6+ as a co-op captain. Unfortunately, we won't have type advantage against him, but it's still type neutrality. Oh, he's running a Blackbeard team as well. Okay, this is interesting. I think he's running the exact same team, isn't he? Genuinely. Oh wait, no, that's my team. He's running the 4 Emperors. Okay, so this is actually going to be very fun. We have 2 strength characters to bully. He's not even trying. He's just passing the turn with normal attacks. So I think I should actually match him and do the same so that we can have a chance at winning. Maybe I'll use my co-op captain here just to get a bit of damage so that I can get the kill here. You know what, who cares? I'm just want to burst. This team is not meant to win, it's just meant to burst over 1 turn. We are going to be using Lilith when we actually try to win, right? So let's first activate Kuzan. That'll give us the attack boost and the driven territory. We'll then use the swap and special of Devon and Ogre. That will change our orb into recovery, but remember we will change that later on into a super type quick orb. Get an orb boost and a conditional boost from the special. We can use the super class to give a free spirit territory, and then also lock our slots, so those super tandem orbs will be available on turn 2, and then also cut our HP. And I think having lower HP actually benefits Doc Q, right? Yeah, if 30% HP or below and you have 3 more Blackbeards, you get that 1.5x weakened status. So that's perfect. Using that after Dovan and Ogre. I actually want to show you guys the special animations, but for now I will just be doing the action special Blackbeard. So the enemy has a damage reduction. We also have a damage reduction, so those damage reduction based attack boosts will be looking spicy in a moment. At this point we can just use Blackbeard special, why not? And I'll try and hit excellent on the action special. Timing is actually a lot easier on emulator. I'm actually surprised the emulators still work. I thought the update on the 1st of July would have banned emulators, because they said they were tightening security and they really don't want us to play on emulator. But then we have our ability to go through defensive effects, so we don't have to worry about that damage reduction hampering our damage. We can then use this unit here. No, not yet. We can first use their super type. This will give them Sulfur Tandem Orb, but we really don't want that because we can perform the Super Tandem with the Super Quick Orbs thanks to Blackbeard's EX Super. This will also give us a damage reduction based on the enemy's attack boost. And now we can use the Avalo Pizarro. This will give us the stacked conditional boost since we have those characters. And then, yeah, I'm running out of time here. Shit. Let me just attack. No, the game screwed me over with the time limit. Oh my days. I think I might be the worst rookie crusher ever, man. I think I might be the worst rookie crusher ever. You know what, I'm gonna try this again, but I'm gonna go super quick for you guys. I'm not gonna really explain anything. I will show you guys all the new animations with the new legends in the match when we use Lilith as the co-op captain, right? So who are we up against this time? Okay, that's a very bad team. This is not going to be a hard victory. And I think this is the Strength Atlas. Might be the rare recruit one. If it's the Strength Atlas, we'll have a bit of type advantage there, but Kobe might also be Strength. I really want to show you guys how much damage we can do when we have a lot of type advantage, which is quite common actually, because we have a lot of enemies in co-op duels like Strength Atlas, Strength Vegapunk, the V2 Strength Saturn, Emu, Shanks. Everyone here is Strength, making it very easy to get that color affinity to actually do its job, right? Okay, they're actually running a full side team. I don't like this. I really don't like this. Okay, who cares though? Let me just do the exact same thing as before. Attack boost, driven territory, buffed orb boost after specials activated. And since we use the super swap to get into the deal form, we can use the color affinity as well. Free spread territory, as you can see, it stacks with the driven one. We can then use this character special for base attack boost, enemy weaken status, as well as a ally or enemy damage reduction, should I say. I'll then use this guy, his special. Let's try to hit excellent. This is wasting a lot of time though. That's why we don't usually play co-op duels with the auto resolve off, because even with the auto resolve, I think it's guaranteed to hit perfect. It won't be excellent, but it'll always be perfect, which is an update they implemented a while back. So you really don't have to waste time using the action special. And I don't think I even hit excellent there. That was pretty bad. We'll use this character after the EX super. Very important. So yeah, we're doing this a lot quicker this time. That's great. We use this super type. Oh yeah, I was supposed to use that before the Blackbeard EX super. Stacked conditionals, both of them have been procced. The enemy has delay and defense down. We do get a ally damage reduction based attack boost, as well as an enemy damage reduction based attack boost. This increases the modifier of those orbs as well. Okay, let's see what we can do. So we'll start off with these characters. Doc Q has very low attack stat. He's not very well invested. Super Tandem boost animation from Blackbeard. The damage I don't suspect to be good at all, because the color affinity from Blackbeard is completely useless. I also didn't even use the Burgess special here. I don't think that was even a trillion. 3, 6, 9, 12. I don't know. I think that was only 212 billion. This, like, the thing with this Blackbeard team is very focused on color affinity. Like, if you don't fight strength enemies, the damage is going to be like 10 times worse, man, because you have that massive color affinity from Blackbeard, and everyone's a quick character. Luckily we do have the Van Ogre and Devon, which if there's a Psy enemy, you can use their int form for type advantage. And I think I actually did that on the first turn there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be a very interesting battle. I mean, at least we got a victory there. At least we've crushed the one rookie at this point. Not a very good amount so far. Let's up the numbers. I'm gonna try and use Lilith now. I think Burgess, let me just not waste my time with Burgess. Yes, he provides more damage, but I definitely think Lilith is 1,000,000% more beneficial for the team. So using those support style co-op captains in duels for teams that have one turn bursts, for characters or teams like the Treasure Map, Vegapunk and Kizuna Legend Lilith team, that one, it's much easier to activate specials multiple times for your characters, especially for running characters like Nika Bonnie and Kuma, to the point where you really don't need that extension, and you can just use a character like Burgess, an attack style co-op captain, to just get a massive damage amp. And it also depends, because if you use a debuff style co-op captain, then you still get a damage increase, like a massive one, but you also decrease the enemy's damage dealt. So based on how strong you think your team is, if you think the enemy is doing way more damage than you, then it might be better for you to use those co-op captains that reduce enemy damage as well, while still giving you a small increase in your own damage, right? So let me go again with Lilith. This should be much more interesting in my opinion. Hopefully we can get a lot easier wins, especially against interesting teams. I want to go up against Emu and the 4 Emperors, the proper team here. Okay, and my wish has been granted. We are going up against the 5 Elders, the 4 Emperors plus Emu here. And I do want to show you guys quickly what the animations for these end of month legends look like. So this is off, support animations off. Let me auto resolve the action special though. I don't need to see that. Let me just see if I can show you guys the animations very quickly. It might be automatically skipped for co-op duels. I think it is, yeah, because I had the auto resolve off, or the certain VFX once a day. So unfortunately it looks like they auto skip for co-op duels. It makes sense because it's a time-based game mode. But either way, I'll just skip to you when I get all these specials activated, and then we can see what damage we can do. Okay, that's about everything activated. Let's extend this now. Very important. Yeah, you can see everything getting extended is pretty massive. Now, who is best to save for the next turn? I honestly think I guess Kuzan. I actually don't know. I don't want to waste time here. Let me use the co-op action here. And I want to be very careful. Luffy is Dex, so we want to tap with the int unit first here, so that we don't have type disadvantage. Ooh, this is crunchy. Let me hit with Blackbeard. Remember, the right column has 1.5x attack in this co-op, so these right column units with type advantage is spicy, man. Let me actually see how much damage was that. We'll see in the moment based on what the enemy does to us. We probably will get absolutely demolished here, but we'll see. Remember how co-op works. When you kill all the enemies, your buffs only get reduced by 1 turn. It's very different from regular PvE, where killing your enemy and moving between the stage reduces your cooldowns or your buffs by 2 turns. It's the exact opposite in co-op duels. If you kill all 6 of the opponents, then you only will get 1 turn of your buffs reduced. If you only kill like half of them or even 5 of them, you have to kill all 6. If you don't kill all 6, your buffs will be reduced by 2 turns in the next match. So be very careful of that, especially if you are using a support style captain like this Lilith here, because if you don't kill all of the enemies, it can really mess up your team. So make sure that all of your units on your team are getting the buffs, because even one slacker on the team can hinder the entire team back if you can't kill all enemies. And that's, I think, 3.4 trillion. Pretty nice. I need to look back on that. Might be 340 billion. I'm pretty sure it's 3.4. Felt like 3.4 trillion. I really wish this team had access to enemy increased damage taken with the weaken status. I feel like it's quite necessary. But remember, we didn't extend weaken status. That is not a status effect that transfers over between the stages here. So it's not that big of a deal, I guess. I'll use this character again. I don't think he's actually going to really do anything. Yeah, pretty useless. We can use nothing else, but we still have a lot of buffs here. We should still do a lot of damage, and the enemy actually activated their own damage reduction here, which is quite beneficial for us. Maybe it would be best to actually put that cooldown back on Doc Q. But let's see here, what can we do? Let me well, I'll do the same thing here. Bam, bam, bam. Oh wait, we didn't extend the buff for Super Tandem with quick orbs. That's a massive issue. Also, the animation that appears when you attack with super type slots is so beautiful, bro. That's majestic. I actually haven't seen that a lot, so it's really nice to see this. I'm wondering why that happened. Why doesn't the perform super tandem with quick slots, why doesn't that transfer over? Because it was 2 turns. The buff extended it to the co-op special did extend it by a turn. Very strange. Oh, it's because I charged the Avala Pizarro, Vasco Shot, and San Juan. That unit reduces the super tandem with certain slots regardless of how many turns it is. So I had it 1 turn remaining, and then the San Juan Wolf, the trio unit, completely removed it. So that's a massive issue. Definitely use Lilith's co-op special to charge Doc Q. I think that's going to be a massive increase in your damage compared to San Juan. San Juan actually took away my damage. I was wondering what he removed, because after I used their special, I saw something go away. But I'm thinking now, they don't remove an icon debuff, but it's because they removed a buff of mine, bro. So stupid, bro. Hell nah. Okay, so what are they gonna do to me here? I probably will die here. Or not die, but lose. I'll do less damage, especially since I had that major mishap. But regardless, this is going to be the final match of the video. It's been already a 22-minute video. I don't want to go on for too long. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get destroyed here. There's no doubt about that, especially with the mishap. Luckily, this is actually a great counter to the Emu Shanks for Emperor's team, because remember, Emu and Shanks are type disadvantageous. They're going to be doing way less damage, especially because that major color affinity from Blackbeard actually is a really bad idea to have when you're using type disadvantage. Remember, color affinity in Treasure Cruise is a double-edged sword. If you are attacking with type disadvantage, a color affinity buff will actually decrease your damage even further. But they do have Luffy there doing type advantage, which is a bit scary. But yeah, Shanks and Emu are not going to be doing much. They didn't even kill my my Lilith. So that means their buffs will be gone? No, they provide 3-turn buffs with that team, so it'll still be active even though they messed up. Despair, we can just ignore that. At later levels of co-op duels, this would actually screw us over, because we don't have any way to resist despair besides the sockets. But at this low level, at rookie 1, it's just a very low despair amount. You know what, I'm just gonna surrender. I'm not built for rookie crushing, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more co-op deals content in the future, let me know. But for all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Peace, and I'm out.